Let me get straight to the point. I've always been pretty clear about what I want in a relationship. Call me old-fashioned or whatever, but I need my girl to keep it modest in public. Behind closed doors? That's different. Do whatever, wear whatever. I'm all for it. But out there? Nah, that's not how we roll. When we first got together 3 years ago, I laid it all out. This is just my thing, I told her. I'm not trying to control you or whatever, but I need someone who gets this about me. She nodded, said she understood completely. Even said she felt the same way. Perfect match, right? For those first couple years, everything was smooth. We had our rhythm, our inside jokes, our favorite takeout spots. We'd Netflix and chill on weeknights, hit up friends on weekends, and take those cheesy couples photos at Christmas. Basic relationship stuff, but it was good. Solid. The kind where you start thinking long-term without freaking out about it. Then she landed this new job. Better pay, better hours, all good things. I was hyped for her. But with the new gig came this new crew of coworkers. Specifically, this group of girls who all happened to be single. At first, it was just lunch breaks at work. Then happy hours. Then these girls' nights out started popping up on the calendar more and more. First time I met them, alarm bells started ringing immediately. You know the type, loud, always on their phones. Dressed like they're hitting the club even when they're just grabbing coffee. The kind that have, if you can't handle me at my worst, in their bios unironically. They looked at me like I was some kind of ancient artifact when I mentioned we'd been together 3 years. These girls are trouble, I told her after they left. You can feel the bad vibes coming off them. She laughed it off. They're just fun. And they're my friends from work. It's not like they're going to corrupt me or something. But here's the thing about people. They say they won't change, that they're immune to influence. But that's never how it works. You become who you hang around. It's just human nature. Listen, I said, trying to be reasonable. I've seen this before. Single friends tend to drag their taken friends into single behavior. They're living a different life than you are. Different priorities. You're overreacting, she said with that little eye roll she does when she thinks I'm being dramatic. I'm a grown woman. I can hang out with whoever I want without turning into some completely different person. I backed off. Didn't want to be that controlling boyfriend who isolates his girl from her friends. That's not my style. But I had this feeling in my gut, you know? Like watching storm clouds roll in from a distance. You know the rain is coming. It's just a matter of when. A month went by. At first, it was subtle stuff, the kind of changes you might not even notice if you weren't paying attention. She started wearing a little more makeup than usual. Nothing crazy, just more effort put in. Even for casual stuff. Her clothes started getting a bit tighter, showing a bit more. Her skirts inched up little by little. Then her schedule changed. Going out with the girls became a regular thing, not just occasional. She'd come home later and later, always with that slight smell of alcohol lingering on her breath. We were just having fun, she'd say, and I'd nod, pretending it wasn't bothering me. But it was. Saw her scrolling through her phone one day, catching glimpses of these group chat messages lighting up with stuff like he doesn't need to know and live a little. I didn't snoop. I'm not that guy, but those flashes of text were enough. One night, she's getting ready to go out, and she's taking forever in the bathroom. I'm sitting there on the couch, flipping through Netflix for the 3rd time. And I realize she's been in there for over an hour. That wasn't like her. The older would throw on some jeans and be good to go in 15 minutes. When she finally emerged, I almost didn't recognize her. Face completely done up, eyes smoky, lips glossy, looked like she spent an hour on YouTube tutorials. Her hair was styled differently too. Not the casual way she usually wore it. I remember thinking she looked beautiful, but also not like herself. Where'd you learn to do all that? I asked. She shrugged, not meeting my eyes. Mia showed me some tricks. No big deal. Mia, the ringleader of this little crew. The one with the loudest laugh and the most stories about random hookups. The one who always looked at me like I was some kind of ancient relic because I actually wanted a committed relationship. I didn't say anything else. Just watched her grab her purse and bounce out the door with a quick, "Don't wait up," thrown over her shoulder. That was new too. She used to at least give me a kiss goodbye. The changes picked up pace after that night. It was like something shifted into high gear, and suddenly I was watching her transform into someone else right before my eyes. The makeup got bolder. The clothes got skimpier. The attitude got different. She started using words and phrases I'd never heard from her before. Inside jokes from her new crew that she wouldn't bother explaining. References to people and places I didn't know. It was like she was developing this whole separate life that I wasn't a part of. One Saturday morning, I found a receipt for some boutique I'd never heard of. The total made my eyes bulge. $300 for what turned out to be two tiny outfits that looked like they used about a square foot of fabric total. When I asked about it, she got defensive immediately. "It's my money. I earned it," she snapped. Which was true, but not the point. "I'm not questioning that," I said. "I'm just surprised. This isn't really your style." "Maybe my style is changing," she shot back. "Maybe I'm tired of dressing like I'm going to a PTA meeting all the time." That stung. I'd always thought she looked great in her regular clothes. Classy. Put together. Not like she was trying too hard or fishing for attention from every guy within eyesight. "Is this about those girls?" I finally asked. "Because it feels like ever since you started hanging out with them, you're turning into a different person. God, why are you so controlling?" She rolled her eyes dramatically. "They just know how to have fun. They're not all uptight about everything." "Uptight? Is that what you think I am now?" She didn't answer, just grabbed her phone and walked into the bedroom, closing the door behind her. I sat there on the couch, feeling like I was watching my relationship dissolve in real time. Like one of those time-lapse videos where a solid object just melts away into nothing. Later that night, I overheard her on the phone, voice hushed but still audible. "Yeah. He's being weird about it again." "I know, right? So controlling." "No, I'm still going tomorrow night." The next evening was when everything came to a head. I was sitting in the living room, half watching some game on TV, when she told me she was heading out with the girls again. I nodded, barely looking up, already resigned to another night of her coming home late, smelling like a bar. Then she walked out of the bedroom, and I felt my jaw physically drop. She was wearing this tiny little black dress that barely covered anything. Cut so low in the front that it was basically asking for a wardrobe malfunction. So short that if she bent over even slightly, well, you get the picture. Paired with these ridiculously high heels that she could barely walk in. She looked like she was auditioning for a music video or heading to some kind of casting couch. Not like the woman I'd been with for 3 years. Not like the person who'd agreed with me about keeping things modest in public when we first got together. "What are you wearing?" I asked, my voice coming out more shocked than I intended. She did a little twirl, like she was proud of it. "You like? It's new. You're not seriously going out like that." Her face changed instantly. The smile dropped, replaced by that defensive look I'd been seeing more and more lately. "What's wrong with how I look?" "You know exactly what's wrong with it," I said, standing up now. "You look like you're trying to get attention from every guy in the club. Maybe I just want to look good for once, she fired back. For who? Because this isn't for you. And it sure as hell isn't for me. I gestured at her outfit. This is for other people. For other guys. God, you're so insecure, she scoffed, reaching for her purse. This is how everyone dresses when they go out. This is how all my friends dress. I don't care how they dress, I said, my voice getting harder. They're single. They can do whatever they want. But you're with me, and we had an agreement. An agreement? She laughed, but there was no humor in it. What, like a contract? Did I sign something saying I can't wear certain clothes? You know what I mean. We talked about this. You said you were on the same page. Well, maybe I changed my mind, she said, crossing her arms. Maybe I'm tired of dressing like a nun because you can't handle other men looking at me. I felt something snap inside me, not in a violent way, but like a string that's been pulled too tight for too long. There was a strange calm that washed over me. 3 years of building something with this person, and in that moment, I knew it was over. All of it. You have two choices right now, I said, my voice steady. Either you change into something appropriate, or you don't go out tonight. Her eyes widened like she couldn't believe what she was hearing. Excuse me. You heard me. Change, or stay home. Are you serious right now? She was almost laughing. Like she thought I was joking. You don't get to tell me what to wear. I'm not telling you what to wear, I said. I'm telling you what the options are if you want to stay in this relationship. That set her off. She went on a rant about how controlling I was, how I was trying to police her body, how I was stuck in the 1950s or whatever. I just stood there, letting her yell, feeling oddly detached from all of it. When she finally ran out of steam, I just repeated myself. Change, or don't go. She stared at me for a long moment, like she was trying to see if I would back down. I didn't. Then she grabbed her purse, turned around, and walked straight to the door. I'm going, she said, hand on the doorknob. And you don't get to tell me not to. She looked back once, maybe giving me a final chance to cave. I didn't say a word, just looked at her, letting my silence speak for itself. Whatever. She muttered, and then she was gone, the door slamming behind her. I stood there for a minute, feeling this weird mix of anger and relief. Then I went into action mode. I didn't text her, didn't call, didn't wait up pacing around like some worried parent. I knew exactly what I needed to do. I went into our bedroom and pulled out the biggest suitcase we had. Then I started packing. Everything that was hers, clothes, shoes, jewelry, makeup, books, all of it, went into bags and boxes. I was methodical about it, not throwing things or being destructive, just calmly removing every trace of her from my home. It took hours. I didn't realize how much of her stuff had accumulated in my place over 3 years. By the time I was done, there was a small mountain of bags and boxes. I carried everything outside and left it neatly stacked by the front door. Then I went back inside, locked the door, changed all the digital locks via the app, and went to bed. I slept surprisingly well. Didn't toss and turn. Didn't check my phone obsessively. It was like once I made the decision, all the stress just drained out of me. Around 2 a.m., the knocking started. Soft at first, then increasingly frantic. My phone started blowing up too. Calls, texts, all from her. I ignored all of it. Just lay there in the dark, listening. Babe, please. Her voice was muffled through the door, but I could hear the panic in it. Let me in. Let's talk about this. I got up, walked to the door, but didn't open it. There's nothing to talk about, I said, my voice calm. It's over. Over? Because of one fight? Because I went out in a dress you didn't like? Are you serious right now? It's not about the dress, I said. It's about respect. It's about keeping your word. It's about the fact that you chose them over us the moment you walked out that door. One time is all it takes. She started crying then. Really crying. Not those fake tears girls sometimes used to get their way. I could hear her sliding down the door to sit on the ground outside. Please, she sobbed. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I just wanted to have fun with my friends. I'll change. I'll stop hanging out with them so much. Just please let me in. It's late. Where am I supposed to go? For a second, I almost wavered. 3 years is a long time to just throw away. But then I remembered how easily she dismissed everything I said. How quickly she'd chosen her new friends over our relationship. How completely she'd changed into someone I didn't even recognize anymore. Call your mom, I said finally. Tell her to come get you. You don't live here anymore. You can't be serious, she said, her voice rising again. All my stuff is out here. You can't just throw me out like this. I can, I said. And I did. We're done. She kept knocking, kept crying, kept begging. I tuned it out, went back to bed, and eventually fell asleep again. When I woke up the next morning and looked outside, she was gone. So was all her stuff. I don't know if her mom came to get her or if she called one of her new friends to help. I didn't care enough to find out. It's been a week now. She's tried to contact me through every possible channel, calls, texts, emails, even had mutual friends reach out. I've blocked her number, muted her on social media. Told our friends I'm not interested in talking about it. Clean break, no looking back. Some people might think I overreacted. That throwing out a 3-year relationship over one night was extreme. But here's the thing. It wasn't just about that night. It was about the pattern. It was about watching someone slowly morph into a different person because they couldn't resist outside influence. It was about knowing that once that kind of disrespect shows itself, it never really goes away. I've been through this before. The first time, I tried to fight it. Tried to reason, to explain, to work things out. Wasted months of my life trying to get back to something that was already gone. Not doing that again. Not for anyone. To me, it's simple. When someone shows you who they really are, believe them the first time. When someone demonstrates that they don't respect your boundaries, accept it and move on. No second chances. No drawn-out drama. One time is all it takes. Maybe that makes me cold. Maybe that makes me unforgiving. I can live with that. What I can't live with is being with someone who thinks so little of my feelings that they'd throw away everything we built just to fit in with some new friends. Someone who would lie to my face for months, pretending to be one person while slowly becoming another. She made her choice that night. She chose that dress, those friends. That lifestyle over what we had. All I did was accept her decision and take the logical next step. And you know what? I sleep just fine at night knowing I stood up for myself and what I believe in. Some people say relationships are about compromise. And they are, to an extent. But there are certain things you should never have to compromise on. Respect is one of them. Trust is another. Once those are gone, what's left isn't worth saving anyway.